All right, we need to talk about a pretty massive shockwave hitting the world of international trade. It's happening between the US and India, and it all comes down to one really, really big number.
And here it is, 50%. Now, this isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. This is a tariff wall that basically just shot up between two of the world's biggest economies. And believe me, it is shaking things up in a big way.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't a small policy tweak. What we're looking at is one of the highest tariff rates the US has ever slapped on a major trading partner. It means that almost overnight, a huge range of Indian products could become way too expensive to even sell in America.
To really put this into perspective, just look at this. Indian exporters are suddenly facing a rate that's more than double what their competitors in Vietnam are paying, and 5 times higher than exporters in Ecuador. I mean, this single move could literally price Indian goods right out of the US market.
So the big question is, why? How on earth did we get to a number as high as 50%? Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. It's actually a collision of two totally separate issues. You see, that 50% isn't one single tariff. It's two 25% tariffs stacked right on top of each other. The first one is what they're calling a reciprocal tariff. It's about these long-running trade disputes. But the second 25%, that's a penalty tariff, and it's all about geopolitics. It's a direct response to India buying Russian oil.
And this quote from a top White House trade advisor, wow, it really gets to the heart of that first 25%. It shows this long-simmering frustration in Washington, and it's basically the core argument for why they feel they need to, level the playing field.
Okay, so let's move on from the policy and talk about what this actually means in the real world, because the impact on businesses and maybe even on your wallet is going to be fast and, frankly, pretty severe.
You really have to get the scale of this relationship to understand the stakes. The US is India's #1 biggest export market. We're talking about a partnership worth over $86 billion. This isn't just some side business. It's a vital economic artery that's now facing a massive blockage.
And the pain from this is not going to be spread out evenly. Not at all. Some of India's most important export industries, these are sectors that employ millions and millions of people, are right on the front lines. Think textiles, gems, seafood. Some industry folks are even calling this a potential doomsday scenario.
And to see just how brutal this is, let's just zoom in on the shrimp industry for a second. Exporters there work on these razor-thin profit margins. We're talking just 4 to 5%. A 50% tariff doesn't just squeeze that profit margin, it completely vaporizes it. It's gone.
This quote from an Indian CEO, it just captures the new reality perfectly. All of a sudden, business deals aren't just about price and quality anymore. Now, high-stakes foreign policy is being debated in the middle of the night on a call about a shipment of shirts. It's a whole new world.
So there's a 21-day window before this full 50% tariff kicks in, which means the pressure is now squarely on New Delhi. India is facing a huge decision, and the clock is ticking down fast.
So what's the game plan? With billions of dollars hanging in the balance, what can India actually do about this?
Well, it looks like there are 3 main paths on the table. Path number 1, negotiate. Use these next 3 weeks to try and hammer out a compromise. Path 2, diversify. Start looking for other customers in places like Europe and China to become less dependent on the US. And Path 3, retaliate. This is the high-risk option. Hit back with your own tariffs and risk a full-blown trade war.
And this statement from India's Prime Minister really signals just how tough any negotiation is going to be. He's drawing a line in the sand, especially around agriculture, which is a really sensitive topic. He's basically saying India is ready to stand its ground, no matter the cost.
Okay, so let's zoom out for the last 30 seconds here and just put all the pieces together. What are the big takeaways? What does all this really mean?
So here's the bottom line. This is so much more than just a trade dispute. It's a massive economic shock that was triggered by this unique mix of old trade arguments and brand new geopolitical pressures. It's also a huge test for the US-India relationship. And most importantly, it's a crystal clear example of how trade is now being used as a powerful weapon in international diplomacy.
And all of this leaves us with one final, pretty unsettling question. In a world where trade is becoming a battleground, how will our global alliances be redrawn? Thanks for watching.